Welcome back to the Young Crumbs podcast.
You've been eating stuff.
Eating stuffing mix.
The Mountain from Game of Thrones, if you ever watched it.
He has a little brother called The Hill.
Shut up. Shut up.
Elon Musk, one of the most intelligent people out there.
His son is going to have a lifetime of bullying.
This episode has no special guests. it's just Sean and Michael. It's just us. We're here. Alright. Welcome back to the Young Crumbs podcast. My name is Michael.
My name is Sean.
How are you today, Sean?
Good. I'm glad. I hope we got your little swallow in there.
Did we?
Yes.
I'll just cut it out later. I'm editing this one, by the way.
Are you?
Yeah, I can do it. You did it last week, and I felt bad that you had to do it last week.
Oh, I was furious.
I was busy. I was marking and doing stuff. I'm a busy man.
Oh, you suck. You're the worst. Episode 24.
24.
24.
Man.
You know what they say about being 24?
Yeah.
Nothing.
One off 25.
Because no one likes you when you're 24.
Oh,
No
is that
way.
the rule?
No. I
No,
don't
is it
know what it
25?
is. I just think mid to late 20s.
Shut up about your age.
No one cares.
No
You
one
know
cares
what I
how
mean?
old you are.
Still between 26 and 27.
Do you know how many people care when someone's turning 30?
Not many.
Zero.
Really?
Zero is how many people
I thought at
care.
least 30 would be a decent amount.
Nah.
I feel like if it ends
Nah.
at 0, people kind of care.
29-year-olds always love to make a point of turning 30. No
feel
one cares that you're 30 and aging.
Turning 30 would be scary.
No. Get over your age, I reckon.
Yeah?
18, fair enough. You're now legally an adult. That's kind of a fun thing to celebrate.
Yep.
13, fair enough too.
Why 13?
You're now a teenager.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not a kid. You're a teenager now.
What about 1? Not
1
good
year
enough.
on this. Look, let's be honest. It's probably not been a very tough year.
Not really.
What'd you do? Laid around,
Cried?
ate some milk, sucked a titty. What a great life.
It's not impressive, bro.
It's not impressive.
I'm not coming to your
It's not
first
impressive.
birthday. I don't care.
Yeah, yeah.
But 5, I think 5's good.
5 years on this planet.
Yeah.
Little kids, I think they're pretty immobile from like 0 to 1. So the fact that they might like kill themselves
I think
by
like
accident,
4 to 5
That's-
is real challenge.
that's
You're starting
that's
to
a
move
challenge.
now.
You can move at pace. You
You
ever
can
seen a
move.
5-year-old sprint?
Some bad can happen.
They're quick.
Yeah, they're fast. And
All
you
it
know,
takes is a little edge.
all it takes
a little
is
ledge.
them running out into the street,
Oops.
you know?
Beep
When the
beep.
car
Coming
comes
through.
past, you know? Unfortunately,
Man.
many have lost their lives because of it. So 4
I
to
think
5 is an important
I think it's
year.
more a celebration of the parents saying, we've done.
Damn, that was...
Congrats to us. We've done 5 years.
Yep.
We've kept this little suicidal human alive
If anything,
that just constantly puts itself in danger.
younger years isn't really a celebration of the kids, it's more the parents, you
Mm.
know?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, our son's turning 6. It's like, I'm sure his son doesn't care. I think you're just trying to flex the fact that your
can't
kid is now
count.
6.
He can't count to
No.
6.
Can you kick a soccer ball well?
Probably
not. I don't care.
What's there to celebrate then?
Why am I coming to this boring party?
Do you think? I've always thought birthday parties for young babies, like 1 and 2, are a bit strange.
Yeah,
Like,
but I feel like
first birthdays, the kid just doesn't know what's going on.
Have you been to a first birthday?
Yeah,
Have you actually?
yeah.
Oh, really? What's like?
The kid
What
just
do you-
doesn't know what's going on.
What do you do?
You just
I
stand
mean-
around talking to the adults because the kid is 1.
I mean, I doubt.
What are you going to talk to him about?
I don't
How's
know.
work going? You know, I'm keeping.
How's the walking going? Is it going good? Walking been all right?
Can you walk yet? No. Oh,
Yikes!
shit. Can 1-year-olds talk? 1-year-olds
No.
can't talk, can they?
No.
Learn to talk, don't you reckon?
Work, huh? Tough.
Work.
You on job keeper as well?
Imagine a 3-year-old looked you in the eyes and said, "How's work going?" What would be your reaction?
Pretty good.
I think if they can string a sentence like that together, then they've got me hooked. I'll unload all my problems on them.
Like, man, it's rough.
That's rough. Don't grow old, kid.
Yeah.
As you
No,
go along.
1-year-old party, like, what is there like?
It's just for the adults.
I mean, I doubt the 1-year-old has any friends to bring over.
where's he gonna meet? I guess maybe preschool.
I mean, I'd heaps.
there's like mothers groups.
I had a massive like party when I was 1.
But are they really
other-
friends, or are they just other babies that exist in the same space?
I think it's just other babies that exist in the same space.
Because I don't think
Remember
1-year-olds
friendship?
have friends.
No. No way.
Are they too young to like comprehend
I definitely think so.
that's someone
yes.
that they like?
Yes.
Maybe.
I don't think
I
they
don't-
can understand. They can't even talk yet.
This
How
con-
do they think? How do they communicate with their friend?
This conversation's making me realize I know nothing about
You know
the
nothing
early-
about
the
kids. I
early
mean,
stage,
neither do I.
the early
but-
stage of kids, like where they're up to developmentally
Yeah.
in that first year. I have no clue.
I'm thinking 5, 6-year-olds playing.
When do they start walking?
5 and 6-year-olds are playing soccer.
Easy.
So
They're kindergartners. I know
they're walking.
kindergartners.
They're walking at like 2, 3. Yeah,
I think like 1.5.
maybe 1.5. Yeah, 1.5.
When do they
2.
start talking? I know it changes.
Oh, that's like super early as well. About the same time they
I
start
could
working.
swear my little cousin was talking at his first birthday a little bit.
Yeah, probably. Maybe
he
a little
he
bit.
could string together the words "my balloon, my party." And that was
String
it.
together the words "how's work" quite well. He can maintain a conversation about the global economy. He does a pretty good job.
Because he's a kid and everyone just like doesn't take him seriously in conversation. Whenever they walk away from him, he just says, "Good chat."
Yeah. Thanks for that, boys.
Thanks for that, mate.
Good chat.
Good chat.
It's like, oh, how's your party going? He's like, yeah, it's pretty good, bro. And then just like, oh, he's so cute. And they just walk away. Good chat, bro.
Good chat, mate.
Good chat. You asshole.
What do you think about spending money on kids' haircuts?
What? That's necessary?
You ever seen like a little
Well, I saw a
two
mullet
or-
today on a young
2 or
kid.
3? Yeah, gross.
Grace, you reckon?
Yeah, gross.
Yeah.
2 or 3 year olds.
He had
with,
an
like,
ear piercing
fresh-
as well.
Ooh,
Ooh.
boy.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
I've
it was a
seen-
girl with a mullet. Is it a girl with a mullet?
You never know. Sometimes those front baby hairs grow in late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know my parents used to always. Well,
Babies
my
are
mum.
bald often.
My mum used to always get my head just shaved when I was a kid.
Why would they need anything else?
Yeah,
They're
but then
too
you sort
young
of
to
get
be judged by their peers.
Wasn't until probably late primary school, so probably like 10, 11, 12. And I was like, no, mum, I'm a big boy now.
I'm a big boy.
I'm
gonna
growing
get
my hair out.
short sides, long top. Thank you.
No, I'm getting a front fringe.
Oh, I remember
The
you.
bowl
You had
cut.
like a little Justin Bieber original haircut.
Good stuff.
OG Justin Bieber.
That's what I used to do, which is embarrassing.
Go
But I'm
on.
going to say it anyways.
Flick it.
Nope. I
No?
did that. That is also embarrassing, but that's not it. I used to get hair product.
Yep.
Right? And you put your finger in, obviously you get some out of the jar.
Yep.
Usually you put it in your hands and you rub it up
Mhm.
and you put it in. I used to just streak it in my hair.
Down the middle.
Like just
Like
that
you used
this
to
way
draw.
with product.
This might help for the listeners to understand.
Yes.
But Sean is basically getting his finger and drawing lines across his head with
Yes.
a single fingertip in the direction that his hair goes.
It wasn't until a friend of mine goes, you know, you meant to rub that
Rub
up in
it
your
in.
hands before you put it in. And I was like, yeah, it's just a style, even though I had no idea what I was doing.
Instead of blonde streaks, you just had.
I had like some dark and the
Some-
other blonde. It was bad. It was a bad time.
I think
You had any
little
cool
kids-
haircuts?
when I was little,
Just in
I rocked
general.
from a young, like, 1 or 2, whatever, like baby.
Mm.
I rocked a bowl cut. Mum used to give us bowl cuts. There's
Yep.
there's photos of all 3 of my two other older brothers and myself all rocking bowl cuts when I was like 1 year old.
Easy.
Oh, it was great. And
Your
then-
mom knows what it's up.
I don't really
It's
know what
just
happened.
easy.
I did the old gel spiky front, but only the front
Yeah, you had
for
that
a little bit during
I remember that
during
bad
and
boy.
then I remember at primary school we wore hats, and so I'd flick the sides of my hair up around the hat and have like these little
Yeah,
these little
you
wings,
had that. Yeah,
these little
yeah.
wings that poked out over my
It was
ears.
like flat on your head, but then flick out of the
It would
bottom
flick
because it
out
was like
at the
you wear a
bottom.
hat.
Yeah.
How did you used to flick it? Did you just
don't
force
know.
it to happen, or do you think it was just because you wore a hat?
I
and
used to
sort of
I used to like run my hand up the side and like actually
Ah,
pinch
like
it,
kinda
and
pinch
flick
it out.
over like on top of my ear, like
Yeah.
flick it out. Maybe I should bring that back.
You definitely shouldn't.
Bring back the long
Do you
look.
remember when you grew your hair out and you were 11?
It was just like a little afro. like
Unfortunately,
puffy,
you have like
puffy.
very
I
thick
think-
hair,
I think I'm gonna do that again now.
so it just doesn't really like. It doesn't flow downwards when you your hair doesn't grow downwards. It just
Yeah.
grows out. So it's just very big. I
Mm.
remember.
You know what
And-
hair? You know what talking about hair makes me think?
What?
Hair loss. You know what causes hair loss?
What causes hair loss?
Terminal illness.
What about terminal illnesses?
Do you think?
That was the worst transition I've ever heard in my life. That sucks.
Yeah, this is your topic. So
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah,
let
yeah,
you
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
This
Something
one
to
was
do with
just
terminal
like-
illnesses and what is what's it called? Euthanasia.
Yeah, so this one was pretty bad. Well, not bad, but it's just very serious.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've read it on Reddit, but there's like places around the world, some countries,
Yep.
where if unfortunately when things happen, someone can get a terminal illness, which means they only have a certain time frame to live. They're like you haven't got this, you've only got this much to live. The guardian or I think if they're young, well, I guess it depends, or the parents usually.
Mm-hmm.
They get told first, and they're like, it's up to you whether you want to tell them, the person, that they're going to die soon.
Wow.
So sometimes, in some cases, they don't tell them. So it avoids all that stress and the
Is
anxiety.
this for overage people?
See, I don't know.
Did you just not read it?
I didn't know. I
You
think
saw
it's
the
I think
title.
it's for younger people.
Okay.
I doubt a 60-year-old's like, hey bro, tell my parents.
I think I would say 16.
Yeah.
16.
Or even like 18.
16 would be the age where I would say you have to tell them.
You feel like you have to
16
tell
and
them?
over. But I think
They're kids. Like at such a young age, kids. They're like they're
Yeah.
not ready to deal with.
That's tough.
That's a big thing. Imagine
Yeah.
telling a 15-year-old who's done nothing but
Love and walk,
walk in the
And-
early ages, maybe
and-
make some friends at kindergarten
maybe.
if they're even capable of comprehending the idea of friends.
Oh wow.
I know.
Is it because of this terminal illness? You're saying they can't make friends?
No.
That's
no.
awful.
No.
That's awful.
Terminal illness is recent. They only got. That's awful.
That's awful.
They, they've just gone to school their whole life.
Yeah.
They've never been able to like really experience.
But
the
then
world,
if like
maybe.
you don't tell them, they're just gonna continue going through school until they die, and it's like, ooh.
Would you take your child out of school if they were terminally ill, and like show them as much of the
Yeah.
world as that you could?
I'd spend so much time with them as I could.
Mm.
Fucking going to school? No way. Let's
Yeah.
go to theme parks and stuff. But
I'll pull their friends out
If
too.
you-
I'd kidnap their friends.
well, it's a bit hard now. But say for example, you had a terminal illness.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid, it happens.
Yep.
Would you like to know? Probably.
Yeah. How long I have to live?
Michael, you got 30 seconds to live.
It's so I can put off writing my will to the last minute.
Ah, yeah, true. Okay. Shit.
quickly.
I didn't. Shut my memory.
Throw me ideas.
Whoever's the nicest to me gets the most money. That's just how it works.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah, no, but I thought that was interesting.
Hey, yo, G, can I have your organs?
Yeah, all right. Go ahead.
Are you going to be an organ donor?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I haven't registered.
I haven't registered either.
Someone, girlfriend brought it up the other day, and I was like, I've always said that I want to be, and that I will, but I haven't taken the steps to do it. So soon I'm gonna
You're
register.
just a bad
I'm
person.
gonna register as an organ donor. This brings up an idea.
I remember there's a subreddit called Unpopular Opinions. We've talked about it briefly before. It's where people share their unpopular opinions.
Believe it or not, it's where they share their unpopular opinions.
Generally,
What do they share on this one?
they're not really unpopular opinions.
Yeah, they're usually just popular opinions.
They're just popular opinions that
Every
go
now and
against
then you get
society's
one.
norms.
Every now and then you get one
That's
that's
like
like,
proper
oh, okay.
Yeah. But the one that I'm referring to is one that was like, if you need an organ donation and you're not an organ donor, you get put on the bottom of the list. If you're an organ donor or a registered organ donor,
Yeah.
you get put on the list above all the non-organ donors,
Yeah.
but at the bottom of the organ donors. So it's like there's two lists. Priority always goes to the people that are registered as organ donors that need organs, right? If they're sick before
Yeah.
their death, kind of thing. Because it's like, how do you expect to get
What
priority?
kind of too twisted stuff is that where they're like, hey man, I need a kidney, but I ain't giving you my kidneys.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
I ain't
no way.
donating my body.
Hell nah.
And it's like, well, I'm not giving you mine
You
then.
know where my body's going? Heaven.
It's going straight to heaven.
It's usually
I need my
religious.
kidneys in heaven. Get
I-
stuffed.
Or you can also donate your body to science.
That's
so it's
cool.
like you can donate it. So cadavers
Yeah,
that
they're dead bodies.
medical science students need to
cut open in class and like learn. They're real dead bodies.
I only found that out.
That's like what donating to science can mean.
Yeah.
Can mean.
I only found out recently that's what they do. I remember I was talking to some friends who did like medical stuff in uni.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, you gotta do this. And I'm like, oh cool, you dissect like lamb hearts and stuff like you used to do in high school. Like, nah, it's a dead body. I was like, what? Like, yeah, the cadavers is a dead body. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
It's a dead person.
It's a real like dead person.
I think if you had to do something with the brain of a dead person, I'd probably freak out. I wouldn't feel comfortable. Like holding someone's brain.
Anything in the face.
I'd feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know
Okay.
what I mean?
I could see that. I think
Because that's the whole person right there.
True.
Think about it.
I think
speaking right now, that's your brain.
I think face and eyes would give me the heebie-jeebies.
Really? But you can live without an eye.
Because that's how we identify people. That's a person to me. You know?
But like,
I've never seen your brain. I bet it's probably pretty smooth. Smooth brain.
No, it's big.
Big.
Huge.
It's
Big brain.
I think I see it leaking out your ears. Do you want a tissue?
Sorry, it's just too massive. It's forever expanding with knowledge.
I've talked to a few friends that do medical sciences and stuff like that, and they've like dealt with cadavers and dissected them and whatever. Well, they all find it really, really interesting, which I'm sure
you'd
it would
hope
be.
so. You'd hope
I
so.
think it would be pretty interesting, but there's a lot of rules around respect and how you treat the dead body and things like that. Like everything has to be.
Yeah.
You basically don't touch it unless you have purpose for like educating or whatever. Like, yeah, you don't poke it. You don't like, there's rules that you can't have your phones out at all.
Fair enough.
You can't. Ideally the face is covered unless you don't touch, unless you're doing something with the facial features, which are pretty crazy.
Bruh,
Yeah.
it's crazy to think there's people who are like,
crazy to
this is
think.
cool. I'd be like, oh my god, that's a dead person right there.
So I think the process is if you die and you donate your body to science, it goes to the morgue or whatever and gets like in the cool room. You have the funeral, whether it's open casted or not, and then it gets sent off to like be donated to science.
Yeah. Well, it's not all bodies donated to science go to
No.
go to universities and stuff.
to be
There's plenty
dissected.
of other ones. Like there's like museums that have like a whole body's nervous system and stuff, and that's a real person's nervous system that's been donated to science.
There was I went to a few years ago I forget what it's called now, but they basically preserved real human bodies, and they were on display for you to see, and like you could see the nervous systems and see the lungs and the inside of their bodies, and it was the craziest thing because they were real things, and they basically explained it like they drew all the water out of the body,
so it doesn't like
and replaced it with some sort of hardening plastic.
Oh, cool.
And so it like everything still has its same color and shape and whatever,
It just hardens
but
up.
it just
kind of
hardens
thing.
up like a plastic.
Yeah.
And like they gave us some to touch, and you could touch it.
That'd be the
It was
coolest
like
flex.
old. It was like 30 years old.
Imagine your dead body being on display in a museum. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty.
That would be pretty cool.
Would be pretty cool.
See that? It's my granddad's lungs right there on display. He had some good lungs, perfect lungs actually.
Look
That's
at
why he's in front of everyone.
Look at the huge dick on that on that frozen body.
Wow,
Wow,
that's big.
what a monster!
What a monster! Imagine your whole nervous system. Like, look, it's my granddad and his brain. Look how big it is.
Yeah, big brain man.
It's a big brain.
I inherited that big brain.
So I've got this big brain up here. Now I know you wanted to talk about playing God.
Ooh,
I know this
there's
is
a few serious topics
this is
up
a
front.
serious episode.
So the thing that I learnt about recently was that in Iceland,
You said Iceland, yeah.
did I say Iceland
You
before?
did say
Okay.
Iceland before.
In Iceland, they basically have screening tests for Down syndrome.
Now, what does that mean?
Prenatal Down syndrome.
So
or
a lady's pregnant.
a lady's pregnant, or very early pregnancy, they can test what is there, like the kind of collection of cells, or test the DNA for things, and basically see what the likelihood that the child is going to have Down syndrome is going to be.
Yep.
And they give the mother a like
Little heads up.
a little heads up saying like the likeliness of your child having Down syndrome is quite high or minimal to low or whatever.
Does the
And
screening test? Is the screening test purposely for Down syndrome, or is it just sort of for everything to see if
I
it's healthy?
think it's for everything.
It's just sort of a healthy baby.
But-
by the way, it might have this.
yeah.
Okay.
And so I was reading some statistics. 4 out of 5 women
Hmm.
commit to the screening test.
Yep.
So they say, I want the screening test.
Fair enough. You want to see if it's healthy.
Yeah, I
and
want to
stuff.
see if your baby's healthy. That's
Makes
a very
sense.
normal thing.
Very normal thing.
Close to
Hmm.
100% of women
Yep.
that find out their child will have Down syndrome. And this is, it might, like, probably other medical factors come into it, like, but just for this example, it was just Down syndrome.
Mm.
If you, like, 90, close to, like, 100%, like 99% of women or 98% of women, if they found out their kid was going to have Down syndrome, they aborted
Mm.
or terminated, sorry. So it depends. Like abortion is it's called abortion when you get to a certain term or like a certain stage
okay.
in the pregnancy.
Oh, right.
Whereas termination is more just like
early stage.
you can take a pill that flushes your body with hormones and like you pass it basically.
Yep.
Which is kind of a bit brutal. But it comes to the big question of like, do like medical professionals have a place to kind of play God? Because that's kind of what we're doing. We're like controlling nature to a degree.
Mm.
It's like the natural course of things wants to happen, but it's like we can see the future and we can say, nah, that we don't want that to happen and then stop it. So it's like, is it ethical?
I don't know. It's such a compacted
yeah
question.
Mm.
But
I was reading some articles about it.
mm.
And-
What was that headline you read?
Oh,
It was
okay.
like-
So if you look up, I'm pretty sure if you look up Iceland no Down syndrome or Down syndrome screening, the first one is a link by the Washington Post on about the thing, and there's a few anecdotal segments from particular people in Iceland that have undergone the procedures and whatever. And then the second one is the real. It's an opinion piece by I think The Guardian about the real problem with Down syndrome screening is the genocide.
It was like the introduction to genocide or something.
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
wasn't it?
So it was
It's a bit brutal.
basically the other end of the spectrum where it's like, this is genocide. Like this is horrible. You can't do this.
Yeah.
But in Iceland, so just for reference, they've basically almost brought the Down syndrome birth rates to 0, to the point that there's like maybe 1 or 2 every year. And that's 2 is like high in 1 year.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's pretty rare. Like it doesn't happen often.
It just comes down to like natural selection, really.
It's like, can we?
Well, not really natural, but
can
like,
we mess with that? Is
it's like
that
unnatural selection?
yeah?
I mean,
but then it depends on how you perceive nature itself. Like, is it some force that we shouldn't reckon with, or is nature just what that is? Is that nature?
yeah.
Nature is us being smart enough to manipulate things, and so it's kind of like a philosophical question too.
I mean, when it comes to pregnancy, now correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know much.
You're a straight white male.
Straight white male. 21, I don't have any kids. But, like, let's say, I think I've heard this happen before, but like late term pregnancy, they have a look at the baby and they're like, oh, there's something medically wrong with it. We need to get it out now. Right? I know that's happened before. And they're like, we need to force the pregnancy now because the baby's not doing well.
Yeah.
Is that affecting the natural circle of things?
Well, yeah. It's like
nah, you got to do it naturally.
Where do you pick and choose?
Where do you
Yeah.
where do you put that line?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, hang on, screening when it's really early. No.
Yeah.
But later, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's
But-
kind of like I guess it comes down to the whole like pro-life versus pro-choice
Yeah, that's
argument.
just what it is. Some people will probably be like, that's awful, but some people are like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So it's just really
And it's like, it's also one of the anecdotal pieces of like, whatever it's called, like evidence, I guess. In one of those articles from an Icelandic woman was like, we don't see it as murder or even like abortion. It's more just like ending something before it can begin.
Before it begins,
It's like you're taking away the chances of it happening.
Yeah.
And it's like,
It's not really...
I know personally, I'm
mine's
pretty
very
sure,
young.
yeah, pretty sure if like I asked most people, would you rather a kid, before they even have kids or are pregnant, would you rather a kid with Down syndrome or not Down syndrome? Then it's like, well, obviously not Down
Yeah.
syndrome.
I feel like the ones that do get Down syndrome sort of see it as like a blessing, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is, we'll work with this. This is
Yeah.
okay. I love my
Yeah.
child, and that's
Yeah.
okay. But like,
And I've met Down syndrome people before too.
Yeah.
And like, they're great. Like you interact with them like just fine. Like they're lovely people.
mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with them existing.
No,
But
of
then
course
is
not.
this saying that,
But it's just
that there
more-
is a problem with them existing?
I just think it's on a personal level. It's not really so much as like,
Mm.
oh, I hate people with Down syndrome. It's like, I don't have the money to afford the medical needs for to raise a Down syndrome person. That's just what it is, unfortunately. It's like, it costs a lot. There's a lot of...
One of the things that kind of like, that I could kind of, that really put it in perspective was like, women just as much as the child or like the potential child should have a choice in the course of their life.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like, so why can't a woman or a couple choose that's the course that their life is going to take?
Yeah,
As in
I mean,
have a healthy child versus, or have a healthy non-abnormal child. I
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
like that's an okay way to put it. I
Nah, it
guess
definitely is.
because it's not like
Having a healthy child versus
it's an-
having one with Down
yeah.
syndrome is very different. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, yeah, cool, we'll just raise it up the same. It's a dramatic step that has to be taken.
it's like yeah. I
And
think
all
it's-
respect to those who do it, but,
Mm.
it's a big task. And to those girls at 100%, those 100% of that say no, unfortunately, I don't really blame them. You know what I mean? It's
And
tough.
It kind of hits a little bit close. Not like I don't relate to everything that's being said like 100% or whatever, because I have never experienced something like that. But like my uncle had cerebral palsy, right? So a family member with cerebral palsy, and he was basically disabled his whole life.
Yep.
And my grandma, who like absolute weapon of a woman,
Weapon of a woman.
weapon of a woman.
That's one way to put it.
Basically like spent from the day he was born to the day he passed away caring for him, and like it was a full-time job.
It's a full-time job.
It's a full-time thing. Like
Yeah.
you don't step away from that. You don't take holidays. Like you're their parent and you take care of them every single day of their life. And it's like that's a huge commitment.
It is.
And it's like if if back in the day they had the same thing for cerebral palsy, like it's
I don't know. Who knows?
like
You just don't know.
but it's also just like it would be absolutely no doubt easier to have a fully healthy
Oh, of course.
child.
Yeah, of
And
course.
so it's like
People, like everyone agrees with that 100%.
maybe we're just talking ourselves in circles, but I just thought
I
it
think
was very interesting. The idea
It's-
of playing God.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
you
like-
also want to talk about how how much further that'll go in terms
It's-
of genetics,
It's a slippery slope.
manipulation. kind of thing.
Like a lot of things, it's a slippery slope.
yeah.
So
So you were saying about how you could. I have heard articles of it before as well, where
it's you're not exactly like genetically modifying anything. You're just basically like terminating if it's detected.
yeah,
But there are technologies where like you can genetically modify your potential child.
so you can
to, like-
change eye color.
Like visual traits. Like eye
I'm
color and
sure it's
things
not
like
out
that.
now, but I know there is a chance of it coming around later.
And it's like, is that ethical?
Color, hair color, and stuff. I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, it just really depends. It's like some people are very passionate about the natural course of things, but it's just like, I mean, I don't really care what my child's hair color or eye color is. You know what I mean? It doesn't
Yeah. Will you
really
love-
have an effect. on
Will you
me.
love them less?
Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, it's black hair. Oh, that sucks. It's like, nah, who cares? But
Yeah.
to those who do want to do it, all power to you, I guess. If you want to, but like, let's say tomorrow.
See, I think I would say I would say no, the opposite of all power to you. I think no, you shouldn't be allowed to do that
Why is that?
because there's no good reasoning behind it. Other than it's more attractive to have blue eyes or something.
But that can be a reason. Why can't that be a reason?
Because it's not
I'm playing devil's advocate. Like, why can't that be a reason? Why can't it be like, I want my kid to have blonde hair, blue eyes?
because it's apart from like the way it's an individual perception.
Yep.
Say with the Down syndrome thing,
Mm.
you cannot argue that like Down syndrome isn't an abnormality.
Yeah.
You can't argue it.
Yeah.
However, blue eyes versus brown eyes,
Mm.
there's absolutely no reason for one to be more desirable over another apart from personal taste.
Yeah.
So that's like you shouldn't be able to alter the course of like
But it's
human life and maybe
it's-
nature.
but like I said, it's personal choice. Like it's my choice. It's my kid.
Oh,
I
it's
wanted
your
to
kid.
have blonde hair or something like that. You know what I mean?
Do you?
And it's all power to you.
Yeah,
You know what I
maybe.
mean?
But it's just like
And I
then
get it.
falls
I get
in-
what you're saying
then
because it's stupid. Like I
then it-
agree.
then
Like
it
you
falls
shouldn't have to
into-
change
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But I'm just playing like just that.
You're playing the
I'm playing
other
those
side of the
rich
coin.
parents that are like, nah, I want my kid to have.
Yeah,
Like, let's say tomorrow, your parents are like, oh yeah, you were gonna have blue eyes, but we changed it to hazel because we just wanted to. Are you gonna be like, Are you gonna be like, what the heck? I'm an unnatural baby. It's like, nah.
Yeah.
Who cares?
See, I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. See, but that's like that kind of comes down to imagine a robot.
Where are you going with this? All right, let me imagine robot.
Imagine a have you seen that movie with Robin Williams? Robin Williams, and he's like a robot android, and he develops emotions.
No.
No, and
No.
he goes to he seeks out like robotic experts to become the most human version of the robot he possibly can.
No.
And it's basically like this search for meaning in his life because he's like, I was someone's vision and someone made me. I'm not here by like chance or purpose.
Yep.
I was just made. So imagine growing up, like, say, you're basically saying, I want my kid to be attractive.
Yeah, the devil's advocate Sean is, yes.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not trying to say
no,
personal
no,
me
yeah,
is,
yeah.
but yeah.
So the devil's advocate Sean is saying, I want my kid to be attractive. Why can't I control whether my kid's attractive?
Yes.
It's just like, why are you putting so much relevance in this kid's life based on their attractiveness level?
Because that's just how I want it.
So you can't argue.
It's always just gonna come back.
You can't argue with an argument like that.
Yeah, when it comes to, well, it just comes. Wait, are you saying, why do you care so much about the way your kid looks? Is that what you're saying?
No, not so much. It's more like why, like you're basically telling them that they're growing up in a world where your looks affect how people will treat you and how you're perceived. Do we already live in that society?
I swear,
Maybe we
if
do.
I'm
I think we've
not
had this
mistaken,
conversation.
we have made this conversation
Yeah.
once in this podcast before.
Where
But-
maybe your looks do affect a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm.
Maybe it's just like, you know what? My whole family's blonde haired. You know, I just want to double check that they're going to be blonde haired because I wanted to all to be blonde haired. Maybe it's like, oh, all of their siblings have blue eyes. I just want to make sure they get blue eyes so they can be like their siblings. Not that it's got anything wrong with other colors, but I'm just saying. Maybe it's just like, just want to double check.
Maybe this is a new podcasting idea. We
What?
take like ethical questions and argue both sides.
Okay. But sometimes it's just difficult to argue both sides. But yeah, no.
I think yeah, look. Like imagine the like genetic Picassos, like the Frankenstein kids that would come out of this sort of like program.
Frankenstein.
Imagine breeding your kid to be like the best basketball ever.
Okay, well that's
And
a
he's
lot
just-
different from hair color, but yeah.
Okay, but like imagine if it went that far.
I
It's
don't
like,
know.
I want my kid to be an amazing basketballer.
But like,
You can basically pick your kid, how good your kid will be at certain things before they're even born.
is that genetic? But or is
It's like
that
the ultimate form of a child living through their parent and being like, you're going to do great at this and this. Like that dad that's really pushing them to
Yeah.
do basketball or
But, like,
something. When they
those-
don't want to play basketball, they want to do drama.
But those people that are really good at those sports aren't born that way. Like, I get like some people say it's it's natural, like, and stuff, but it's very much hard work and like those people are born into those lifestyles and it's just practice and practice every day when they're younger. So you can't really be like, hey, let's genetically make them a good soccer player, even though like
Well,
you've got the best soccer player in the world who's like 5'9", and then you have other ones that are like 6'6". It's just like obviously basketball's different because it's like, hey, let's make sure he's a bit taller because he's gonna be basketball. So I don't know.
But then you could say like Usain Bolt, fastest man in the world. He's like on a genetic level, he's built for running.
Yeah,
like
that is correct.
He just lucked out, and he's got all the right.
It's
things
a combination
for
of both when it comes to that.
It's a combination of
100%,
both.
Yeah.
So it's like, imagine if it became a social experiment to see like how far we could push humans to the point maybe where there's negative consequences.
Where we have an Olympic Games where they're only genetically modified humans are allowed in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that'd be cool.
I'm pretty sure it sounds a bit like a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Like a bit of a sci-fi
like these freak
movie.
shows.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. You're not natural.
It's like a freak show.
Yeah.
But then it would start like such a crazy underground like black market for genetic modifications and things like that.
But that's like doing it to yourself. These are just born people. You still have to make a baby, you know?
Yeah, but you know.
That's funny. Thinking of Usain Bolt, I think we mentioned it on this before, but I'm not sure. But there was like a photo, and it was like out of the 100-meter sprint, all the finishes, it was like I think it was 5 out of the 7 were caught with performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah,
it was like all of them except for Usain Bolt because he's the only one who wasn't. Because
he doesn't need it. He's a machine.
He's just genetically, like you said, genetically
built for it.
Faster. Taller, just that right amount of tall where it's like fast as well. Yeah, crazy.
I think luckily most humans have their heads screwed on pretty straight, and they wouldn't.
That's a bold
They
claim.
wouldn't say like change the color of their baby's eyes just for the sake of it.
But it's like you said, it's just really petty. It's like, what? Who cares what your color eyes are?
Yeah.
If you ask me what my friend's color's eyes are, I could not tell you to save me.
I know you're blue. Yours is blue.
Mine are very prominent blue.
But that's because you're like when I think of your physical appearance, I say blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah.
It's like they're a combination.
Yeah. And like you, I say black hair, black eyes.
Mud.
Just straight black hair, black eyes, and a black heart because he's so evil.
I look like mud.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wouldn't say mud. That's a bit rude, but
yeah, kind of gets onto the whole thing about like.
I definitely think we'll be facing this ethic question like more and more.
I think people have opinions,
and
I kind of want to hear opinions.
Yeah.
Hit us up on our Instagram what your opinions are.
Of what?
I don't think we've said anything controversial.
No, I don't think so.
I think we've just said like what it's just reality.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
Yeah. No, I definitely think. But like if you had the choice, like let's say we get to the advanced bit where you make a kid and they're like you get to pick how tall they are and like you know, like additional eye color and stuff. Let's say you could pick how tall they are.
Make a kid. Do you want to build our dream kid together?
Let's not. But would you, if you had a choice to choose how tall they are, would you choose it?
No.
Nah.
Because I think genetics naturally would do a fine job.
That's true.
I'm like what 6 foot.
You're like 6'1", aren't you?
Yeah, I'm like.
You're like 6'2".
6. I'm almost 6'1". I'm like a hair under 6'1", so I just say I'm 6 foot.
To say 6'1".
How baller is it that I round down to 6 foot?
Yeah, shut up, you loser. As long as I'm over that 6 foot mark, that's all I care about.
Happy.
Nah. Well, I don't know. It depends. Maybe you have a father who's been short his whole life. And, you know, sometimes,
maybe he's bullied for it.
Maybe small people, you know, they get bullied and they're like, you know what? No.
I don't want my son to go through that.
Don't want my son to go through that. I want him to be 6'5". Puts it in a little iPad. He goes, presses the little plus button. Beep, 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 beep. Makes him a bit taller. Press save as. Saves the baby. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Imagine the conspiracy theories that would come out if this was a real technology.
It was in like
about like the government's whitewashing.
Yeah, yeah.
Changing genetic code of babies.
Well, there's still already those ones about like swapping babies and like the hospital, and there's like taking live babies and stuff. Not sure if I believe in that, but that's definitely one of them. There,
all babies look the same. It'd be very easy to do by accident.
Oh yeah, it would. That's why they have all the name tags on them and stuff. They have like little tags on their arms, and
it's
like, which one's yours again?
They tattoo the baby.
No, I don't think so. I don't think they do. They comes out and they just you hear the little gun. Zzz, they're just like, what's his name? What's his name? Zzz,
Before it's
Sean.
even out, the head's poking out, and they're just like, hold still, on the head, back of the neck. Like
well, this whole thing's about
Altered Carbon is the name of the show that this whole conversation reminds me
It's
of.
so funny because I was just about to say this reminds me of Blade Runner. You haven't seen Blade Runner?
Haven't
the new
seen
one.
Blade Runner, but I
That's
know
very
the
similar.
concept of it.
There's a lot of media that explores this sort of idea of like
Making humans
rather than and them being below natural
Yeah.
humans,
Yeah.
and it's pretty interesting. Even like you ever play Fallout 4?
No.
Okay, that whole thing was there was like this scientists like community, and they made these synths, short for synthetic humans.
Yeah.
So they got so advanced to the point where they were real humans, like real body, like, you know, lungs, heart, and everything, but they were robots, like they had programmed minds.
Right.
And you'd like go to someone and they believe they're human. They're like, yeah, I'm human. Like I was born. I know where I was born. Like I know I was born here by this month and whatever.
Yep.
And then they would say a code like 4, 5, 6, and they would just shut down because they're not real.
They're still
Like they're
programmed.
still
Yeah.
programmed. How crazy is that?
It's a pretty crazy.
Imagine
thing.
thinking you have programmed a whole memory of your whole entire life, and you're like, of
I'm
course I'm human. Are you serious?
I'm human.
I know where I was born. I had a whole childhood. And they're like, no, you're not. We programmed that for you. You're not real, mate.
Imagine one day you're cutting vegetables, you slip with the knife,
And then
Next
out come
thing
a
you
little bit of
know,
circuit boards.
instead of blood, it's oil.
Oil.
Excellent. Don't need to season my veggies.
Excellent. Oil time.
Oil.
If you knew,
To make a
why
slip
do
and
these
slide
veggies
bun.
taste so weird? You never would have believed it. I cut myself,
Oh
and
my
out came this
gosh.
motor oil. So I poured it on the veggies. But anyways, speaking of veggies,
Yeah.
moving on to a little bit more lighthearted topic.
Lighthearted topic.
All right,
We're 40 minutes in.
bit more
That's
lighthearted.
a big topic. We should
That
do more
was a
of
big
those.
topic.
I think we should do more of those.
Yeah, we can do a mix. I like doing like the
Unless
funny
people hate
ones,
it.
and then all the
People might hate
nonsense.
it, and all they might see or hear is two guys that have no empathy for, you know, people with Down syndrome and stuff, like having a conversation about something they don't or haven't experienced.
It's
And I can understand that.
I can understand that 100%.
Yeah. So it's like,
Sorry for sharing my opinion, I guess.
yeah, this might have another, just a real quick one. Is anyone's opinion ever invalidated by their position? As in, like, can I have an opinion on abortion as a man?
I mean, yeah, I think everyone's entitled to an opinion, but some people's opinions are worth more than others, though. You know what I mean? It's like, am I really going to comment about the politics of Scandinavia when I don't live there and I've never read anything about it? Like, I can have an
Yeah,
opinion, but like,
yeah, definitely.
that's a very broad sort of stroke to be like, you have to be, but I get what you're saying. You're like,
It's kind of like the whole mentality of
but like,
a room of old white 50 to 60-year-old gentlemen running a country full of very multicultural people.
yeah. Well, it's like the
Are they speaking for everyone?
I don't know. Well, it's
I
like,
guess it's a similar sort of scenario.
well, you're saying that you're like speaking about abortion when you're a white male. Speaking about like pregnancy and stuff, yes, you're a male, but you know, eventually you're gonna have kids, and this is like something you got to think about. Like,
yeah.
what if they're like, hey, your kid's gonna have Down syndrome? Like, it could seriously happen to someone. So it's like, you know, you're not really as that far fetched from it. You know what I mean? Stop dropping that pen. That's the third time you've dropped this pen. Yeah,
Throw
get
it
rid of
away.
that pen.
Throw it away because I keep dropping it.
But yeah, lighthearted topic.
Yep.
I want you to give me best to least best. So 1 to 3.
Yep.
Mexican food,
Yep.
Thai food, Indian food.
You want it?
I want it.
I have it straight away.
Got it.
Thai, Mexican, Indian. 1, 2, 3.
Wow. Interesting.
I love Thai food.
Thai food number 1, eh?
Thai food's really good.
I'd swap Mexican and Thai food for me. Sorry. I'm just going to have to do it.
Mexican's good, but it's just kind of the same flavor over and over, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like
if you look at the menu,
a
it's
salsa-y
like,
taco,
do you
burrito
prefer
thing.
burritos? Do you prefer the same thing but as a hard shell, like a taco, or do you prefer
It's like
the same thing but in a bowl?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty much
It's-
like that. Yeah,
It's like
I
the
agree.
same sort of food, but different mode of transportation.
Yes.
You in a taco? You in a boat?
Are you in a
Ever
boat?
seen those boat, the El Paso, like weird floppy boat things?
Oh
No?
yeah, the bowls.
The bowls,
These-
they're like
yeah.
edible bowls.
edible bowls.
Yeah, they're weird.
They're weird. Tacos and burritos.
I think Indian food.
Obviously burritos.
Indian food's good, but it's just like
I don't have it very often enough.
it just feels like curry and rice.
That's because that's what it is. Depends on what it is there.
Yeah, change it up a little.
Well, that's what Thai
So I
food can be. Thai food can be curry and rice.
Can be, but it can also be like a noodle stir fry. It can be a this. It can be a.
Thai's very versatile.
Oh, there's so many different flavors too.
There's lots of versatility in there.
Lots of flavors. I like a range. I think that's what I like in. So that's why I put Thai first.
Nice,
Because if you want a bit
range.
want something a bit more barbecuey, have something a bit more barbecuey.
The-
If you want something real like
Satay.
satay, there's a whole lot.
Satay.
Lots of different flavors.
Lots
Lots,
of
of different
different flavors,
combinations.
yeah. Nah, Mexican food's better. But I definitely
Okay.
agree. Thai food's good, but
This leads me on to Chinese food.
what about it?
Well, you wrote it down on the sheet of paper.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
said
reading the
Chinese
sheet of
food,
paper.
yay or nay? Because I hear some different opinions. I hear people say Chinese food is like an oilier version of Thai food. I've heard people just never have it before because it's like not as common.
I think what you would consider Chinese food in, say, Australia
Yeah,
is
It's
probably,
obviously very
probably
different.
a bit different to what they actually eat in China.
no bat soup here.
No
But-
bad soup.
What's your opinion on the old Chinese food?
I'll be honest.
Please.
The things I order
Yeah,
basically are honey chicken,
it's good stuff, but rice
and fried rice with little baby prawns in them.
baby
I love
prawns.
a baby prawn.
Get out of
How
here!
good's a
would ya?
baby prawn?
You evil
Is
son
that
of
just
a
called a
bitch.
shrimp, or is that all?
That's nah. They call prawn shrimp. That's
It's American for prawn.
awful. Why do you prefer eating baby ones over the real ones?
They're just tastier. Do you like veal?
No,
It's like young cow
I don't like veal at
or
all.
young calf.
People like veal?
I love veal.
Really?
Veal's so nice.
Veal's just really weird.
No,
What's the
it's
how
like
does it?
softer. It's like a softer meat.
Because it's younger, man.
Yeah,
It's a younger thing, and you just ate it.
that soft, tender flesh.
Ugh.
That's a weird sentence, isn't it?
I've had like crumbed veal, and it's like this isn't nice.
As if a Wiener Schnitzel,
Yeah,
Just
just
that's what a veal
get me a
schnitzel is.
palmy, bro. Stop playing around. Stop being stupid. I've had 3 chicken palmies
Hi,
this week.
can I please have the crumb chicken? Excuse me, why doesn't my crumb chicken come with cheese, ham, and tomato sauce on top?
Put it in your mouth and then come back and ask me, and they'll be like, "Thank you for putting cheese, tomato sauce, and ham on it
Exactly.
because it's delicious."
Instead of a tip, can I have my money back a little bit? Just 5%?
Can I have my money back,
Thanks.
but put cheese, ham, and tomato sauce on it so I can eat it? No, back
And
to
maybe-
Chinese food.
Okay, sorry.
Is Chinese food a yes or a no? Like I didn't
yeah,
get one.
I
earlier.
think a yes.
It's a yes.
I think Chinese food is almost like a cheat meal. Like I don't feel healthy when I eat
Nah, of course
when I
not.
order Chinese takeaway.
Do you feel healthy when you eat Thai food?
Yeah, usually.
I feel like Thai food, Mexican food can like be spun healthily. You know what I mean? You can
True.
get a nice healthy
Yeah, get a
Mexican
nice
bowl where
healthy-
it's just like just
Lots of
chicken and
vegetables in Thai food.
lots of veggies in Thai food.
Lots of Chinese broccoli,
But-
things like that.
Tell me a chicken green curry isn't healthy right now. Say it. Say it. No, you can't.
He's got a gun to my head.
Yeah. Don't say it or else.
Or else, wait till we get home.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Nothing.
Okay, cool.
I'm not going to cut that out. It's just going to be like
yeah,
an
no,
awk-
like
an
I think I've
awkward-
got like you said that, and I think I got the reference, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, not sure. Nah, but I think Chinese food. I used to eat a lot of Chinese food.
No, I'm going to bring up a topic. You finish this thought.
Okay, Chinese food. Chinese food's a yes. If you haven't tried it, you have to try it. I'm not saying it's better than others, but I definitely think it deserves a spot in people's hearts. All right, well, what's your topic?
What do you think about fighting in front of your friends? Fighting with with your partner in front of friends.
Like
Having a little
couple,
domestic.
like a little couple fight.
Yeah. Depends on the seriousness of the fight.
What do you mean? Like like, do you think it should happen, or like, what's
I
like?
think it's awkward. It's always
It's
awkward.
definitely awkward,
weird
and you
to
should
do.
keep it to yourself as much as you
Yeah.
can. And I've never had a fight with. I mean, like, not a fight, but like, you could be having like a little disagreement about something that maybe you said, and like there's people around, and you're like, oh, we'll talk about this later.
But
You know what I
I
mean?
think like I've hung around couples where that happens and it's spun in a very like fun, he said she said kind of way. It's like an aimless argument.
Yeah,
It's like not going to go anywhere. It's not serious either. None of them are really that invested in it.
I feel like if
And it's
it is
just kind of
serious,
funny.
it'll
It's just
mention
funny
later.
hearing them bicker.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
a bit like that. That's funny. That's a sign of a good relationship. I think it's
Yeah.
like a little bit of bickering.
So you're saying that couples that fight in front of other friends
But like
isn't good?
but couples that fight seriously or like have a little
Oh yeah,
have a
of
little
course.
like problem with each other in front of other people. It's just always awkward for the other people.
It's definitely awkward with the other people, but would you say that they're not a very good couple if that happens? Because I feel like if you go away on
yeah.
holidays,
Yeah.
if you're gonna go away on holidays with like a whole bunch of people and like you're there for like a week, yeah, there's probably something you're gonna say to your girlfriend that'll maybe give her a little bit of annoyed. You're like, Michael, I don't like your opinion on Down syndrome people. Please shut your mouth. But I don't know. There's healthier ways to go about it, but there's
I think,
healthier ways just wait until there's not people around and be like, hey,
I
don't
think it's
appreciate what
a
you
I
said.
think it's a good sign that you can exercise calmness and like
and restraint.
restraint.
Ah,
That's
that's
the word.
a
I was
good one.
trying to find the word. Like
Restraint.
restraint
Yeah.
in that socially public like in that public situation.
Have you been in situations where a couple's like full had a mad like go at each other in front of you?
It always happens on nights out. Sometimes like when you're young,
yeah,
it's always like nights out. There's
Oh,
drunk
bro.
people, emotions are high.
I wouldn't count when there's
And there's,
alcohol
like,
involved because 9 times out of 10 they both wake up the next morning and they're like, oh shit,
Yeah,
sorry about
it's
that.
pretty dumb, yeah.
It's just so stupid.
But it's always a bit like, oh, this person's pissed at this person. It's pretty
yeah,
funny, eh?
yeah.
Mm.
But you've never been in that situation before,
No, not really.
so you don't know that it makes you uncomfortable or not.
I think the idea that anyone could ever be in the doghouse
The doghouse.
is a bit silly.
What do you mean?
Just talk about your problem.
Yeah, I get that.
And get over it.
But like,
Don't be like passive aggressive in the way you're treating your partner.
communication is key.
That's
But
it.
if it's something that maybe you did, and you're just like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, or something like that, you're just probably going to be in the doghouse. Like, what can you do? You can't say anything more to fix the problem. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You can't fix that
I get
problem.
you can't always fix a problem, and you just
Yeah.
have to let it pass.
You just have to let it pass.
And that's okay, but like, why are you in the doghouse?
I remember you mentioned years ago. I remember you opened up a can of worms like way ages ago. You were saying that the idea of you, like you're in a house with your wife. You think you know what I'm talking
I know
about?
what you're about to say.
And you have an argument, and they've told you to go sleep on the couch. And
Yeah.
I remember you said that's such a dumb concept.
I would be like, fuck that.
Yeah,
If you don't want to sleep near me, I have no problem with it.
yeah,
We've had this conversation. Like, say I had a little misunderstanding with a missus or something.
sometimes it happens.
And that if like I don't think I'm in a relationship where this would ever happen.
Yeah,
But if I was, I would be like, fuck no.
yeah.
I'm not moving.
I'm forcing myself
Are we
into that
are we
bed, or
children?
else.
Am I having a timeout? What is this?
Yeah,
Like, if you don't want me sleeping in the bed, then you move to the couch.
yeah.
It's like, this isn't,
This is child's play, man.
this isn't child's play.
No, I agree
I'm
with
about
you.
to- yeah, like that's
I
so
agree with
dumb.
you.
It's so dumb.
Yeah,
And what it does, I think, like, it's important for both genders as well to never like put their wants above yours.
yeah.
It's like, or
You're
like,
both individuals.
Yeah.
Like,
Understandable if say you're in a relationship and someone makes a really big mistake
yeah,
and it results in pain for the other person,
yeah.
like emotional pain. I mean,
Oh, I thought you meant paying.
oh no,
As in, like, you're giving them money. I was like, what'd you do?
pain, like
Yeah.
emotional pain for the other
Gotcha.
person,
Yep.
and you want to maybe give them some space and
That's
say,
totally understandable.
then fair enough, move yourself on that couch.
Yeah. Move yourself.
But if it's a disagreement where it's like, it's not a thing of I did this and you're annoyed at me, whereas I don't think it was that bad. It's
Yeah.
like it's a disagreement for a reason. You both cut your losses, and you both move on.
Yeah.
You don't like. It's such a bizarre. If one of my mates was like came and said my missus made me sleep on the couch, I'd be like,
What is wrong with you?
"What is wrong with you?
Yeah. 100%.
Go take your testicles out of the trash can, sew them back on, and sleep in your own bed." What are you talking about?
Yeah. It's stupid. I agree. I just want to hear you rant. It's funny.
Yeah, I think it's.
Speaking of like dating, I want to talk about last week's episode,
Yep.
and we're talking about like first dates and who should pay for them and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I want to talk about how funny it was hearing older generations talk about it. We asked your dad after the episode.
Yep.
We told him what the topic was.
Yep.
And we're like, oh, would you pay for the first date? And he's like, yeah. And we're like, would you pay for the second date? He's like, yep. And we're like, would you pay for the third? He's like, yep. And we're like, are you going to pay for all the dates? He said, yep, of course. I'm always going to pay for all the dates.
It's like that's just what you do.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's interesting hearing how older generations are just like, the guy always pays. That's just how it is.
And I think
And some people's parents tell them that. Like some people's parents are like, if you're going to take a girl out,
pay for the date.
pay for the date.
I
totally agree with that.
If I was a dad,
Yep.
and my like say 12-year-old son who doesn't have a job has a date organized,
Oh, damn.
he's got himself a little date.
Yeah.
12 years old, looking for has a little date. He found a little girlie at school. That's
Cool.
fine.
You have to drop them to the movies and
Yeah,
everything
drop
because they
them
don't
to the
drive.
movies. Yep, they don't drive. They're
Yeah.
not going to catch the bus. That's not romantic.
That's not romantic. Hey, it's public transport.
I'm
a
looking.
viable
I'm
option.
looking in that mirror, saying, "Keep your hands off each other." In that rear view,
Huh.
I position it so my eyes are on him.
So you guys met at school, did you? Yeah? Oh, my son behaves himself in school. Yeah. I can just imagine Michael just the worst dad.
So what are
talk
your grades like?
Yeah. Because I know my son's.
Pretty useless.
He's a bit of a dumbass.
A bit dumb. But I would give him
Yeah.
enough money for the both of them.
Yeah, of course. That's
Even
so
at
sweet.
even at 12 years old,
Yeah, I mean, 12
I
years
would
old
be like,
that.
it's a fun, sweet thing. They're going. To
That'd
the
be so
movies,
cute.
whatever.
You're like, I'm giving you this. Pay for her meal as well. Okay, come on. That's what you do.
And act like it's your money. It's
Yeah.
your Christmas money.
It's your.
It's not my money.
Nah, say like you're a big spender or something. I've got so much pocket money at home, bro. It's crazy. Yeah, nah, 100%.
But yeah, just a strange like idea that older generations are like, yeah, that's just what you do.
Yeah, and I agree. I think we both agree. Like I try to at least pay for the majority, but every now and then they're like, I got it. It's like, girls want their independence.
See,
It's like,
I'm seeing someone now. We're like girlfriend.
Yeah, you have a girlfriend.
I have
yes.
a girlfriend now, and it's pretty even. We take turns. Like
Yeah.
if we go out for dinner, if I paid one turn, she pays the next turn.
So
or
the
whatever.
time that she's paying, you're like, all right, we're heading to the city. We're grabbing ourselves an aged rump steak for dinner. Cost $200.
I've got a table for two set on top of the harbour bridge.
Yep. Thank you very
There's
much.
a bottle of wine waiting.
Yeah.
Speaking of bottles of wine, I have a little thing to tell you.
Oh, what is it? What's the little thing?
Are we finished with first date etiquette again?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Done now.
I know teaching is a banned topic,
Oh no,
right? But
it is
I got my first teacher's gift
from a kid.
for helping a student. For
Oh,
their
that's
year,
so sick.
Year 12 major. I'm not even the teacher. I'm like just.
Did you help them like
So I
legitimately?
helped them in the last 2 or 3 weeks of their project. Not even a whole lot, but the fact that he bought something for me,
What'd you
I was
do?
just like, oh my heart.
What'd you do?
I just helped him like physically create his DT project towards the end.
Oh, okay.
Or
A bit of cutting, sawing.
A bit short on time. Just helped him in the workshop. Outlined what to do, what not to do, kind of thing. Like taught him how to use some machines and tools, just basic
Oh,
stuff.
so he wasn't a woodwork.
He wasn't a woodworker.
Oh, that's
It was
fair
a
enough
DT,
then.
design and technology.
Yeah,
But they often make stuff out of wood, and so they're in that wood workshop for
which
the
is
first time.
a bit of a foreign place.
Yeah, a bit of a
so-
foreign place. So you're helping him out. But he bought me a bottle of wine, and I was like, oh, shouldn't have.
That's so
Shouldn't
nice.
have. I was like, I was so. It hits you. It's like, oh, it pays. Like it pays.
It
off.
really does pay to
I've
be a
been
good
working all
teacher.
this time. Finally, I get me alcohol.
Oh, it's about bloody time someone gave me a bottle of wine around here.
One
So
of the-
is that what you said to all the other kids?
one of the teachers there, he's like, let me add it to my collection that he keeps under his desk. And there's like,
Wait, so he took the bottle of wine
there's
off you?
3 bottles of alcohol under there. Yeah, like he also got a bottle. So like the
okay.
three teachers that helped him out, 2 and myself,
Enjoyed the same one.
got a bottle. Yeah, all the same bottle. But he's got like 2 other bottles still sitting in his
A Pinot Grigio.
in his staff room, sitting there under his desk,
Really
like from students that have bought him presents.
cool.
And like, but he doesn't drink, so it just sits there.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's cool.
kind of a funny thing.
And you take it to like a night you have to go to or something like that, and you're like, I brought a bottle of wine.
Easy.
That's a good idea.
I
Really.
save them all up for the fall.
White or red?
It's a red. Do you want to see it? It's the white bottle. On the
yeah,
right.
that's a nice one. It looks fancy.
It
I don't
looks
know my
fancy,
wine, but I don't
know if
it looks
is.
fancy.
It does look fancy.
You like red wine?
Yeah,
I don't mind a red wine.
I like red wine.
Red wine with a steak. Oh, now we're talking.
Yeah, red wine, red meat.
Do you remember that
That's the rule.
friends dinner we went to last year?
Yes, I
It
know
was
the
in
exact
this-
one you're talking about.
It was in the city. It was
Yeah.
on top of like this really fancy restaurant. I just want to say it was a great time. It was a really great time.
Living the high life just for a night. So much fun.
So much fun.
So much fun.
Then we caught public transport home. Good time.
Hey.
Yeah. No, it was good. We had
it was a lot of fun.
went to this place and like a friend of ours, she like put on this thing for a dinner, for her birthday. And it was really like nice, like we had like our own room and they were like just constantly just giving us alcohol. They're like, yeah, you want a beer? You want another
Yeah.
wine? And it's like, entrees, mains,
all paid for.
all the good stuff.
It's like a 4-course
and
meal.
everyone's wearing like, fancy clothes.
Yeah.
And like you said, every now and then, it's good stuff.
But I think if I did that all the time, see, like her dad is a good example.
Yeah.
The girl who we went with's dad is a
Yeah.
good example. He looked like, while we were also like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
What I felt like his like view on it all was just like, yeah, this is just a nice dinner.
Yeah. I mean, it was a nice
So it's
dinner,
like-
so he's not wrong.
Yeah,
but
but he's like, I don't think it had.
maybe
the
he's
same
been there before or something.
It doesn't have the same effect on him that it does us.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
I don't think I ever want to be at the level where something like that, some special treatment is like a regular occurrence.
but when that's a regular occurrence, the next one up, there's always something a bit more.
What's the
you know
next
what I mean?
level?
Like,
Yeah.
like there's always something a bit
Yeah.
more. So it's not like he goes, I've reached to the top. I'm sure he's like, there's a bit more. There's a fancier place down the road. Like, that's a bit
Yeah,
higher
maybe,
up. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
He's on the next level up
Mm,
of the building. Nah, but yeah, like you said, living the high life,
yeah.
getting yourself
It's
a
great
nice
fun.
dinner.
Great fun. I
it's
love
good
it.
stuff.
I drank so much red wine. that
Oh,
night.
bro.
My golly.
There were a lot of beverages consumed.
Beveraginos.
Beveraginos. Because when you're at those places and it's just like, I think it was like a bar tab or something, it's just like
You don't go
every
and not
time,
drink.
it's like every 30 seconds, they're walking around like filling up your glass.
Yeah, they're
like, just grab me,
constantly topping
like, do you
up.
want the same beer of that? And it's just like, yeah, okay. And it's just like, they're just really quick with it, you know?
So I couldn't tell you how many glasses of wine I drank because they were never empty.
Yeah.
They were just always
It's
filled
just
up.
the service. But yeah.
Great. Yeah. Crazy.
Mm.
Crazy stuff. Should we wrap the episode up?
We should. Episode 24.
Do you want to do a little outro?
Am I doing it this
Yeah,
week?
you can do it this week.
Holy
I'm
smokes.
going to grab the bottle while you do it.
Oh, why is that?
Just have a look at it.
Oh, okay.
Show you.
Thank you everyone for listening to episode 24. My name has been Sean. You can follow me at Sean_Wool99.
And my name has been Michael at MOB_Y_Dick. Moby Dick.
That's Moby Dick.
Moby Dick.
Follow us on our Instagram at the Young Crumbs. No dots, no spaces, no underscores. Ooh, yeah, this is a fancy one. This is a fancy one.
The bottle. Sean's
Yeah,
referring
sorry,
to.
I'm reading the bottle. Yeah, but thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, thanks
and
for listening.
we'll catch you next
Episode
time.
24.
Oh, let us know about. Did you want us?
Yeah, give your opinions on all the topics we talked about.
Yeah, the ethical ones.
Whether it's
Let us
ethical, whether you would change the eye color of your baby.
And the Chinese food. That's
And
what we need
Chinese
to know.
food.
Yes.
Is it just greasy?
Is it greasy
Is it
mess
greasy Thai?
or is it tasty, tasty stuff?
Ooh, scrumptious.
Scrumptious. All right.
See ya.
See you later.